He has a 1-1 count. That one's struck high. Left side. That one's going. That's out of here off the wall. You have to be kidding me. Fireworks. Here you go.
Welcome in, everybody. Week 3 power rankings are right around the corner, just minutes away. My name is Caden Niston, joined as always by Andrew Brown, our special High and Tights, coming to you every Monday. Hey, don't just check out these rankings videos, though. Check out our actual High and Tights. These, we're kind of just revealing these rankings for you, but those High and Tight shows, we go in depth. We talk about it. We break it down. We kind of go more opinionated, I guess you could say, on those shows. Really good discussions that go on there. And as the season gets going, those shows are only going to get more and more fun. But Andrew, the people are here for Class 1A rankings. I say we give it to them right now. You know the drill. We're here. We're doing it. 15 through 11. Let's get going. We've got 0 new teams in our Class 1A poll this week. Our ranker is keeping with the same 15. He likes what he sees. And in this little 15 through 11 group, Andrew, the team that sticks out to me, although they dropped, is Grandview Christian. They had a really, really busy week last week. Their only losses to Beckman Catholic and Des Moines Christian. Other than that, wins over Highland, BGM, Ogden, Roland Story. I mean, they've already got a win over Pella Christian this year as well. So Grandview Christian, I mean, it's a team that's impressed me so far. You got the Jordan brothers, you got Moulton. I mean, they're young, they're playing good ball. Nate Riley's contributing too in a big way. This team is a team that played really sound when I was there. They hung with Beckman Catholic for a good chunk of the game. I mean, they were in it up until the end, and I was just overall impressed with the Thunder, and I'm excited to follow them the rest of the way, even though they dropped in this week's poll. But Andrew, who kind of sticks out to you in this little group right here?
To me, similar lining there. A team that did fall a little bit here, but a team that got the chance to take a game at Target Field as they went up a class to do so, and that was key. As for the most part, they've had a solid week. Again, just one loss, at least as the stats are here on Bound. I've been trying to find, and I don't quite see anything yet as to if the game against Pleasantville had been marked down or not. But they did have wins over Coon Rapids Bayard, Walk-On, Postville. And so they're sneaking up on a lot of teams, doing a lot of good. They beat Decorah, Hampton Dumont Cal, some big teams in that front as well. And, right now they've had 3 games in which they posted up more than 10 runs. So, last year wasn't the key we've seen. This year, maybe the key of old. Man, they certainly did put out a lot of good things going on there. It may not be the most flashy. I mean, you're not going to see guys in the top 10 with this team right now, but gosh, there's a lot of guys on there that have had a lot of good impact. And I think we're going to get back to the 30-win teams we've seen of Key in the past.
I love it. Yeah, baseball in the state of Iowa is a lot better when the key Hawks are in it and competing in Class 1A, and that's what we're seeing now. The other teams rounding out this little group, Sigourney, they're still undefeated. Tri-Center and North Tama, they all find themselves here. They were new into the poll as of last week. They will hang out in the poll again. So congrats to all of those teams. But hey, let's get right into the top 10 in Class 1A as we break it down. We do have some movement here as it is Wapsie Valley dropping 3 spots to number 10. North Lynn, they hop up a spot to number 9. We got Galen Catholic holding ground at number 8, as well as Newman Catholic holding ground at number 6. And then you got Ankeny Christian at number 7. Andrew, I think the team that sticks out to me here is Ankeny Christian. I mean, this team is sitting at 7-1, only loss being to Lynville-Sully, and I think we know what kind of team Lynville-Sully is shaping up to be this year. And they got a guy at the front of their rotation in Eli Christensen, I should say. I mean, you got a horse like that. He's got 21 innings, 43 Ks. I know you don't like ERA, but his ERA is 1.62. His WHIP of 102. I mean, he's picking up wins for him, 3-1 on the year already. And this is a team that's really, really senior led. Their top 6 hitters are seniors. So it's a team that's kind of gunning for it. You can kind of tell, they got a core group of guys and a good class here playing ball at Ankeny Christian. So Who kind of sticks out to you in this little group?
Man, a lot of teams are doing really well here, but I do like the team. Man, I'm gonna say I like North Lynn. I've liked what they've been doing so far. They had a 4-1 week in their own lone loss coming to Monticello. I like, I've switched back and forth. Newman had a good mark as well. I mean, if I had to say a tie there, but Northland really making the moves up there and putting a lot of good on the board. And I say that here as I look through my stats. I mean, they've had a lot of good guys that have had over 8-9 hits so far this year, and they've kind of been slow but steady. And in the end, there's not a lot that you can't like when it comes to this program. And we've seen what they did in the past. We've seen what they're going to do this year. And so honestly, I like where we're getting. And Mason Beechin is a guy that last year, coming into the last year, he had, or no, I should say, coming into this year, he was one of the top 5 stolen base earners from last year. And Cole Griffith as well, one of those guys that really, they just dominated the base paths. Those two guys are leading this squad right now. And honestly, there's other guys who are stepping up. So they're not gonna be overpowering, but they are gonna hurt you in many different ways. So I do like Northland and where they're headed.
Absolutely. Well, we did the math, Andrew, and our top five was 20-1 last week. So really, really good week for our top five in Class 1A. Let's see if we have any movement inside of our top five. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm gonna let you hang around and check out with us. But at number five, we do have Akron Westfield. They will hold their ground there. A team that they just keep racking up wins. This is the team. The only loss inside the top five was from Akron Westfield, and it was to 3A MOC Floyd Valley by 1 run.
Yeah.
I mean, Akron Westfield is every week they're making themselves more and more as a contender in Class 1A, Andrew, and why is that?
Well, the big part is they're going up against the top dogs, right? They had the 7th strongest strength of schedule in the class. They've been there, they've done that. So their rank is as you look at what they've got going on, they go against guys like Remsen St. Mary's, Galen Catholic. They've already had some of those battles right now. So you're not going very far before you hit into a lot of talented teams. And gosh, this is a team that can bounce you all across. They have a deep field, dark field in Akron, but certainly they're able to hit it and spray it all across there. And I guarantee if you look at a spray chart, they're hitting on all sides of the outfield. So I think what they're doing, and again, they're pacing themselves real well. They've got a lot of they may not be the most glorious in some aspects of it, but my gosh, what more can you not like about them? Terpstra is a guy that I would honestly pinpoint any day. Whoever you're playing, you could be a 4A squad, and you're going to circle him, and you're going to be worried about what 1A Akron brings to the table.
Absolutely. Hopping to number four, another team that did not move from last week. It's St. Ansgar and Andrew. I feel like we haven't really talked about this team much. They lost to Pella Christian and since then rattled off 7 straight. And I mean, you can compare apples to apples as much as you want, but I think this team might have the best pitching, the best ace, I guess you could say, or best pitching staff in general in Class 1. I mean, Jay Schweisau, the junior, he has yet to give up an earned run over 19 and 2/3, and he struck out 41 in that time. And even behind him, they've got guys with ERAs like this big. I mean, their ERAs are microscopic at this point, and they're hitting the ball around. It's a good recipe for success when you're scoring a lot of runs and you're not allowing many. You're going to win a lot of games, and that's what St. Ansgar is doing right now.
Well, yeah, and I mean, not many teams have 2 or 3 in the top 15. St. Ansgar does. They do so, and you mentioned one guy, another guy, Max Beeland. He has only given up 1 earned run so far, and then that's on the pitching side of things. And we're used to seeing this team really go out and ball, but we started to see it more from like that behind. Are they going to come from behind and win? And man, they're not. I would also mention guys like Carson Sparrow, who's now tied for 8th in the class with 23 total bases. He's going to pick up well, and I say that he is finding the ball, hitting the ball. Only has 6 extra base hits right now, but what he's doing there is he's getting on base, and then what are they doing? They're coming around and they're stealing bases. They're putting up a lot of good things. In fact, you got guys like Drew Powers, 2nd in the class in stolen bases. So they're putting guys on, and they don't need to hit extra base hits as much as some other teams might. So they can be effective with single and station-to-station baseball compared to any other team out there. So this is a team that has capability of vaulting itself up within just 1 week, and I would not be surprised if they find their way in the top 3 soon.
Absolutely. Well, they're behind three really, really good teams, Andrew, in Class 1A, starting at number 3 with Remsen St. Mary's. And my goodness, I think Remsen St. Mary's might have had the win of the week in Class
Yeah.
1A in the last 7 days, where they went on to the CYO and they beat Heelan 5-0. That's Class 3A, ranked Bishop Heelan that they blanked. I don't know if there was a storyline we're not picking up, but man, this pitching staff is crucial, and they're up there with St. Ansgar. I mean, every team in this top 5 has an incredible pitching staff. And as I pull it up, it was none other than Colin Homan going 7 innings, shutout, 5 hits, 7 Ks against a ranked 3A team. That's pretty scary, I guess, if you're the rest of the 1A field checking out that score.
Yeah, and it was the way that it happened is just it's really I mean fun. One, it's fun. It's going to be fun to watch. Yeah, the game was really exciting to watch in the grand scheme of a couple people that I know got the chance to see it, and they got a chance to connect with that. And man, it was again a fun game. Not as much for Heelan, I guess I should say right there. But Remsen St. Mary's, man, they put on a show, right? And they can do that. And what has been the one thing that we've talked about beforehand with this team? Finding a way to hit runs early, finding a way to hit runs late. And they did so there. Again, three of their 5 came in the 5th inning or later. The 2 runs that they had prior coming in the 2nd inning. So they can hit you on both spectrums of the game, and I'm really kind of as shocked as I am. I'm not, because how many times have we sat here and said if any team in 1A can go ahead and beat any team across the spectrum in Class 1A to 4A, it would be Remsen St. Mary's. If we had to narrow it down to one team, I think that would be the team a lot of people would be most comfortable with mentioning.
Absolutely. Well, they're behind 2 really good teams, and this number 2 team, Andrew, they're just putting on dominant performances every single game. I mean, I'm looking at their scores. I don't see. I mean, you always talk about the dominant wins that Balance says. These all have to be dominant. The closest game I'm seeing is a 13-7 win over BGM. They've scored double-digit runs in every game but one, and I see
Yeah.
a lot of wins right here already. So, Lynville-Sully, my goodness. I mean, quarter down harder. I see a lot of yeah, the cycle. He's in the cycle. I see a lot of bloated batting averages early in the season. I don't know if I've seen a 700 batting average and 47 total bases this early in the season. Quarter down harder is a household name in Class 1A. 21 hits, 8 singles, 5 doubles, 3 triples, 5 homers. He's slugging 1,500 through 30 ABs. Lynville-Sully, they're a team I'd be scared of if I was across Class 1. I mean, every single team in this top 5 is extremely scary, and that's what makes 1A really fun. And their pitching is backing up everything behind the plate. So I'll let you talk about what you want with Lynville-Sully, but there's a lot you can talk about.
Yeah, and I agree. Quarter down harder, besides the best name I feel in the game right now. He has 20 more total bases than second up here in Austin Jordan of Grandview Christian. 20 more. You look at the rest of 2A, 3A, 4A, you don't get that disparity right now. Again, like you said, I've never seen anybody bat 700, but what do we have here? Like that, he is one of the very few to have a slugging mark over 1,000. He has been absolutely on fire, and again, it's not just him. It's a slew of things. You mentioned the pitching there. They've got a lot going for them in that mark, and they're dominant, right? They're not just, oh man, they'll win one game easy, next game by 2. They go out and dominate anywhere they're at, and it's seriously, I mean, Lucas, and I'm going to say this name wrong, and I'm
I think
so
it's
sorry.
Seek.
Seek, thank you. Thank you for
I
checking
think it
where I'm
is.
going there. I love guys like you have Lucas Seeks coming on up. He has, on the pitching side anyway, 27 strikeouts and then a microscopic ERA, 0.81. You just don't get that very much, and it means a lot. You know, teams not having a lot of fun against him under a buck 100. They're not doing well. So And again, it's patience, not a lot of hit by batters, not a lot of walks. So they're the full spectrum of the team, and they deserve to be a top 2 team.
Absolutely. Well, that means number one, we've got Burlington Notre Dame with Lynville-Sully and Remsen St. Mary's breathing right down their necks. But Burlington Notre Dame, I mean, you can't knock them from this one spot quite yet, and that's what our 1A ranker is believing at this point. I mean, Landry Haberichter, the sophomore, I got to mention him. He's got 12 hits on the year, Andrew. 10 of them have gone for extra bases. He's been a slugging machine. The offense has been producing. The pitching staff has been dominant as well, as you see a lot in Class 1A. They're led by Sadler and Crow. Team ERA of 1.17. That's going to win you a lot of games. I will say, though, 21 runs they've allowed, 10 have been earned. So allowing some unearned runs across the plate. But so far, so good for Burlington Notre Dame, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I mean, there's not much that you can ding him for. I mean, this has to be quite a fall from grace just to get past number 1, right? They're doing it right. I mean, right now, on base at a clip of nearly 500, and they're hitting 344 as a team. They're rocking it, and all of a sudden, you take a look at it. They're finding ways, like I mentioned from another team. They're finding ways to not necessarily do it with the extra base hits a lot, although they do have 17 doubles on the year. But ultimately, I mean, they're in the 70 RBI rank, and so they're just firing it off. I mean, this is a fun team to watch. You want exciting baseball in 1A, you're not going to be disappointed from the Southeast Super South Conference, and especially Burlington Notre Dame.
Absolutely, and a win over Wapsie Valley this Saturday will bode well down the stretch. They've got some fun games this week, including one against North Scott on Saturday. That one should be fun. Those cross-class 1A versus 4A. You don't get that a whole lot nowadays, but we'll get that Saturday. But hey, Class 1A fans, we appreciate you for tuning in. Go check out the other classes and go check out our actual High and Tight episode when that comes out this week. We would much appreciate it. Hey, share this post, share this video, go share with your friends so you guys can comment what you like, what you dislike. And we appreciate you for tuning in. Class 1A fans, we will catch you next Monday.